The ROI marketing team presents the Facebook Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiative, a social media marketing strategy for Crystal Mountain Public Library, a fictional library set in Pierce County, Washington. The objectives of rebranding the library's social media presence are to increase BIPOC community representation and voices that align with CMPL's strategic goals, specifically prioritizing representation by ensuring that 40% of the Facebook social content features Black, Indigenous, and people of color or their work. CMPL services 888,000 residents, offering in-person, curbside, and electronic services. The annual budget is $38.9 million, and 3.5 million books are checked out each year. In 2020, a framework for diversity, equity, and inclusion was introduced. The objective for this marketing plan was broken down into goals that fit the SMART framework. Goal 1, increase the percentage of posts on Facebook to 40% that feature BIPOC and their contributions, culture, and needs. Goal 2, increase quality, consistency, and relevance of DEI content to create reliable, consistent messaging each month. Goal 3, assess outcomes, including evaluating analytics such as engagement, check in with Facebook followers for feedback, and identify what is working and what should be improved. We began with an environmental scan in order to make data-driven decisions. In Pierce County, the population is 72% white, 6.8% Black or African American, 6.3% Asian, and 8.3% identified as two or more races. The remaining percentages are each less than 2% of other races. According to census data, the CMPL region is the third largest population in the state of Washington. Within this group, about 60% of the adults are considered employed, but over 10% are facing poverty. Tacoma, the largest city in the county, reported that our residents of color have reported feeling as if they have fewer opportunities for community engagement and that there is little acceptance for people of diverse backgrounds. It stands to reason that the populations of other cities within the county may have similar feelings. Based on our analysis, CMPL's strengths are its quality and talented staff, its vast technological resources, community support, and a well-funded budget. The library's weaknesses lie in its communication and the potential for staff conflict in a changing environment. The region surrounding Puget Sound was originally inhabited by many indigenous tribes. In 1792, the region was claimed by a British explorer and later became a state. In the 1830s, the region became well known for lumber, an export that continues to thrive. The marketing plan begins by addressing who is involved, the funding needed for the initiative, and a timeline for implementing the plan. The social media marketing team, consisting of a social media director and 2 to 4 additional library employees, will meet regularly to plan content, schedule posts, manage social interactions, and assess goals and outcomes. The social media director will also meet with branch managers for input and feedback, and then obtain final approval from the library director. In order for the Facebook DEI initiative to succeed, we have put together a budget for items we deem necessary to the initiative. Staff pay accounts for 90% of the budget, with the remaining going for subscription services such as Tailwind, Canva Pro, and Adobe Creative Cloud. A diversity, equity, and inclusion training is also included for group members. The marketing plan will be implemented in 4 phases. The first is the decision-making phase, where the social media marketing team will be formed, subscription services will be established, and the groundwork laid for when the group will meet together. In phase 2, the social media marketing team will begin training for the various software programs they will use, as well as diversity, equity, and inclusion training. The DEI training will be held 3 times a year. Both of these phases should last a month each. In the third phase, the social media marketing team will begin publishing content that prioritizes representation of Black, Indigenous, and people of color and their work. This publishing phase will last 6 months, and then assessment will begin in Phase 4. Facebook content will be posted in a strategic manner to ensure the objectives are met. This is a suggested content calendar for a month. The specific topics should be modified to coincide with national or local events and celebrations. We created several mock-ups of possible posts that could be used during Native American Heritage Month. The first post begins with an invitation to participate in a 21-day challenge. The post invites action and offers information on the library's Native American collection. For day 1 of the challenge, followers are invited to view a video about the Native American Heritage Month and ends with a call to action to click the link and record their participation. The posts continue following this pattern of sharing information, connecting it to the library's collection, and inviting followers to record their participation. These posts are representative of how a series of posts can be constructed each month to highlight a focus for that month, including Black History Month, Autism Awareness Month, and Women's History Month. Our communication plan provides a clear objective and strategy for creating and communicating the message of the initiative and the assessment. The communication plan objective is to engage stakeholders in the DEI change framework and acquire new Facebook followers. The message of this marketing plan will be shared with the public, local media outlets, and through word-of-mouth sharing. In this sample press release, the initiative to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in Facebook posts is announced, giving the why of this initiative and what the public can expect from the library's Facebook page. The final component of the marketing plan is assessment. Here we look at what the diversity lead will do to obtain data and measure outcomes. Facebook Analytics will provide data regarding post engagement, and the diversity lead can compare engagement with interest in the collections or services highlighted in the posts. Another assessment measure is pulse checks, which are frequent, informal invitations for feedback from Facebook followers. Using this data collectively, the social media marketing team will be able to identify patterns to create highly engaging posts and identify aspects of the plan which need improvement. A formal review of this collective information will be made twice a year, reporting to the library director. Our marketing proposal addresses CMPL's Facebook page's lack of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and provides effective, clear, and specific strategies to meet the marketing objective. Our team is confident CMPL can significantly increase BIPOC representation, page traffic, patron engagement, and web conversations through our proposed Facebook Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiative.